The resurrection story today starts with an inspiring act of a faithful woman, Mary, who in spite of the hopelessness of the situation, chose to act in love. She chose to honor the person who had forgiven her sins and given her dignity. She must have thought, the Master's grave must be in order. He deserves that. So while the other disciples were sleeping or hiding, this once condemned woman walks quietly and bravely, not knowing that the Savior was going to reward her for this heroism. I remember when I was growing up, I've always been a fan of superheroes, Superman particularly. Heroes who wear costumes and disguise, heroes who have superpowers, heroes who are always there when you need them. But as I advance in age, I begin to realize that indeed there is only one hero. He don't need to wear a costume to disguise himself, but he is always there for us. Jesus is our real superhero. I remember seeing a picture where Jesus is seated while Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and Iron Man surrounded him. And in it, the caption, "And that's how I saved the world." Today we celebrate our salvation through his heroic act on the cross and his conquest of the enemy by his resurrection. And yet, we are all called to follow him by being heroes ourselves, not so much with earth-shaking acts, but by his doing his will here on earth. Today, with the COVID-19 pandemic, I imagine Jesus surrounded by our frontliners, doctors, nurses, cops, and people who work and risk their lives that others may live. Jesus is surrounded by our modern heroes. Heroes who get out of their way to give to others. Many doctors, nurses who left their families for a while to spend time in the hospitals to save others. Cops who try to guard the streets to avoid the spread of the virus. Families who now spend quality time with their loved ones. Brothers who cook for each other and who do things together for the church community. People persevering in prayer for others. This Mary-like heroism pleases the Lord, who anoints these acts so that the world would experience the power of the resurrection. By the way, do you know what is Jesus' power? It is the power of love, the most effective power in the world. We too have that power, and today, as we gather around Jesus once again, we are reminded on how he saved the world. He commands us to do the same, to always use the power of love. Have a blessed and meaningful Easter.